Greetings from the church-wide offices of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. My name is Francisco Javier Goitia Padilla. I am the church-wide representative to this assembly. I am the Senior Director for Formation for Leadership of the Home Team Church Community and Leaderships, the new way in which our denomination is organizing itself. I work with our seminaries, 7 seminaries, and with lay schools. I also work with colleges and universities and with theological education in general. I am a rostered member of the Caribbean Synod, so it's a pleasure and an honor to participate in our assembly. Es un honor y un placer estar con ustedes en esta asamblea como parte del listado de pastores y pastoras de nuestro sínodo. I will, the first part of my presentation, I will speak a bit about our denomination's response to COVID-19 and this synod's contribution to our work in the ELCA and worldwide. And then I will talk a bit about our synod. Let me try to share my screen to see if this is working. Okay, it's working. The first thing that we want to say is thank you, gracias. Muchas gracias. We know that this last year has been hectic, very difficult, very dense, and that congregations, pastors, leaders, bishops have been to adjust to an unexpected and unimaginable situation. COVID-19 affected our lives in such meaningful and dramatic ways. And not only society at large and our families, but church and communities had to adjust. And we did it fast, we did it with passion, and we did it in faith. And churches found ways to keep gathering online, visiting and sharing with each other from a distance. The synods continue to work and to do the job that they do well. So we want to say thank you so much for your job and your passion and your commitment to the church and your faithfulness. As I read our theme for this assembly, Caminemos en fe y esperanza, let us walk in faith and hope. I remember one of my favorite verses in the Bible. I use this verse in one of my courses, in the preaching course, because I think it hits our hearts and our minds. It is in Romans 10. But how are they to call on one in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in one of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone to proclaim him? And how are they to proclaim him unless they are sent? You have been sent. We have been sent. Roster leaders, lay leaders, parishioners in the pews, bishops, staff, and we assumed, we affirmed our vocations as we maneuver and adjusted to the COVID-19 pandemic. We did what we were supposed to do. We did more than we were supposed to do. We were resilient. We were passionate. We were stubborn. And the church, the community of the faithful, the Communio Sanctorum, the community of the saints, continue to gather online from a distance, as I said, and we were gathered, sustained, affirmed, forgiven, and sent by the word of God to continue doing what we do. So thank you very much. And I want you all and also to remember that we have been sent and we have a job to do. In terms of the COVID response, our denomination really responded fast. In a matter of 6 weeks, a grant was developed, the COVID-19 Response Fund. All the tweaks and details of the grant were developed in 6 weeks. And we received 1.8 million from ELCA members, particular members, congregations, synods. And with that money, we gave grants to 63 synods. That was the first response, the COVID-19 response funds. Then Lutheran Disaster Response continue doing the job, and they supported 32 synods, including social service agencies in 40 states, and provided grants for over $900,000. Globally, we awarded almost $4.8 million in 125 grants in 49 countries. Of those, 84 grants were in response to COVID-19, 2.45 million, and we impacted almost 1 million people worldwide, 800,000 people around the world. So in terms of our response to COVID-19, I think it was nimble, it was fast, it was meaningful. In addition to that, the ELCA finances were sustained. Thank you to your job, to your work. Thank you to the way in which people continue to be committed to the gospel. In terms of our synod, in the fiscal year 2020, the Caribbean Synod shared $20,400 in mission support to the ELCA. We contribute with $8,364 to develop new ministries. We also contributed with $4,488 to accompany other churches in the global side of the world, the global side of our mission. So, globally, we contributed with $4,488, and we also contributed with $7,548 to support current and new leaders. So, in the midst of a very difficult years, and our finances, we all know that are in a difficult place, we found ways to contribute and to keep doing our ministry, not only helping our congregations to survive, but also contributing beyond the walls of our congregations to mission support, to develop new ministries, to accompany churches globally, and to help current and new leaders. So thank you very much for your contributions and for your partnership with Churchwide. We are in the midst of a revamp of the way in which we organize ourselves at Churchwide. We are in the midst, as we speak, of developing a new organizational chart, a new way of relating to each other, a new way of working with each other. And the goal is to reach new, young, and diverse people. The goal is to bring new people to our pews, to impact and reach young people that can gather and serve the Lord, and to reach and impact a diverse humanity that includes all of us. Different language, different colors, different races, different ethnic backgrounds. In terms of numbers, we want to reach 1 million new people in the coming years. And you may ask, why? Why now? Why this church needs to reach 1 million new people? Why this church is interested in new, young, and diverse people? Well, I think it's because we are living in a different place. We are living in different times. This Toto, we are not in Kansas anymore. We are not living in the place and in contexts that we were familiar to. The world has changed. The church has changed, and we need to do something about it. The gospel needs to address the situation in which we are living now. The gospel will address the situation in which we are living now. The gospel is enough to gather new, young, and diverse people. The gospel will reach 1 million new people in the coming years. The main reason to do that, I believe, is that we are following the gospel. We are following Jesus. We are affirming on our confessional doctrines of justification, of grace, of sin and vocation. The Spirit is able to gather people, and as we preach, forgiveness will be shared with all. In addition to that, I will share some statistics that shows us the situation in which we are. This is a chart, and these are trends. This chart was the following 4 charts were developed by research and evaluation in the ELCA. This chart represents the change in baptized membership in the ELCA from 1988 to 2017. In 1988, we had 5 million baptized members. In 2017, we have 3.5 members. So the trend is in the downside. But not only the trend has been in the downside from 1988 to 2017. If we look ahead, and if we continue doing what we are doing, if we continue doing the same things that we have been done, the projections are that for 2050, we will go from 3.4 million to 66,000. If we do nothing, if we continue doing the things that we have done, if we continue thinking the church as we have thought it for decades, we will almost disappear. By 2033, we will be 1.8 million, and by 2050, will be 66,000. Of course, these are statistics. Statistics are not the word of God, but these are trends, actual trends that we have been recognizing since 1988. If we go to our Synod, we will see that from 2009 to 2018, we went from 4,158 baptized members to 3,467. The trend is the same. It's downward. And if we project ourselves into the future, we will go from 2018 to 2040 from 3,467 members to minus 249. We will disappear. Yes, these are trends. But if we continue to do what we have been doing in the same way we have been doing it, I think the trend is clear. This is why we need to impact and reach 1 million new people in the future. This is why we need to have new members, young members, and diverse members in our congregations. Because for a complex combination of factors, life as it is different. Church is different. The way in which we need to talk and relate to society at large is different. So Uh, let's follow our bishop in her leadership. Let's talk about this with honesty and with conviction, with the passion of the gospel. These trends, in my opinion, only describe what we have known for so many years. I have the the charts for the Caribbean Synod, for the Puerto Rican district, and for the Virgin Island district. I can share this with the Bishop Negron, and Bishop Negron can share it with you. The charts, the graphs of the church-wide offices of the church-wide, our denomination at large, are also available if you want to see this in more details. But not only my hunch, my hope in faith as we walk in faith and hope is that if we were able last year to adjust, if we were able last year to do things differently, for the gospel to be proclaimed in such a way that our church will continue being communities of faith, will continue being geographies of grace, then we have in ourselves, because of the Spirit, we have in ourselves, because of the Word, what it is needed to turn around these trends. The invitation that I share with you today is that if we have done it in these last 12 months, if we have been able to think differently these months, we are able, because of the Spirit, because of the gifts and talents that the Spirit has given us, to think and do church in a different way, to see life and humanity in a different way, and to proclaim the word in a different way. I will finish my presentation today claiming the same text that I used at the beginning with another verse, another part of the verse 15, the last part. But how are they to call on one in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in one of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone to proclaim him? And how are they to proclaim him unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. You are one of those. Your feet are beautiful, your hands, your brain, your heart, your guts. This text blessed you, identify you as one of those who bring good news. Let's do it again. Let's commit again. Let's affirm our baptisms again and launch, think, develop, establish new ways of being church, where new, young, and diverse people can gather without hesitation and tremor, without being afraid of being hurt. As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Let's take this verse to heart. Think anew our church and trust God's Spirit. Thank you so much. God bless you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Y que Dios me los bendiga. Dios les bendiga a todos.